Our baby showers ended up on the same day, but you're only planning a modest gathering anyway, right? Mom and Dad and all our relatives will be at my celebration. My younger sister Madison declared with a smug smile plastered across her face, deliberately scheduling her event to clash with mine. Her perfectly manicured nails tapped against her phone as she flaunted her designer maternity dress. 3 months later, the day of our baby showers arrived. I was greeting guests when Madison and her husband Tyler suddenly appeared at the entrance of the elegant hotel banquet room, their faces frozen in disbelief. "What in the world is this?" she gasped, her eyes widening as she scanned the crowded room filled with joyful guests and beautiful decorations. "Madison, what happened to your own baby shower? Did you get curious because ours is such a hit?" I couldn't suppress the feeling of satisfaction as her face flushed crimson with rage. For once in my life, I was the one with the upper hand. My name is Olivia, a 32-year-old pediatric nurse. I've dedicated 10 years to the Children's Hospital since completing nursing school, pouring my heart into caring for my young patients. Through determination and compassion, I've earned respect from doctors and families alike, finding fulfillment in making a difference in children's lives. I've been married to Nathan for 3 years now. When he proposed, I remember being so overwhelmed with emotion that I blurted out, "Are you absolutely certain you want someone like me?" The insecurity in my voice was unmistakable. Nathan took my hands in his and looked deeply into my eyes. "It could only ever be you, Olivia," he said with such conviction that it made my heart flutter wildly in my chest. Was I dreaming? The happiness I felt was almost too intense to bear, like sunshine flooding through me after years of standing in shadows. When we visited his parents to share our news, his mother Eleanor embraced me warmly. "Olivia, we couldn't be happier to welcome you into our family," she said, her eyes crinkling with genuine affection. "I'm the one who should be grateful," I replied, fighting back tears of joy. The warmth of their acceptance felt foreign but wonderful. "Please don't be so modest, dear," Eleanor smiled, squeezing my hand. "You're a gift to our family." His parents were incredibly welcoming, making the visit a pleasure. However, one comment from Nathan's father momentarily caught me off guard. "We'd love to meet your family properly sometime soon," he mentioned casually. "Yes, of course," I agreed, while my stomach tightened with anxiety. The thought of my family meeting these kind people filled me with dread. "Liv, don't feel pressured," Nathan whispered, noticing my discomfort immediately. "Whatever you're comfortable with." "Thanks, but I'll be okay," I assured him, though uncertainty gnawed at me inside. My unease stemmed from a painful truth: my family didn't love me the way families should. I have a younger sister named Madison who commands attention with her striking beauty and social media presence. Since childhood, she's been the golden child, featured in local advertisements and later becoming a social media influencer with thousands of followers. My parents, Janet and Robert, worshipped the ground she walked on. Meanwhile, I was the plain, responsible one. My parents decided I wasn't worth investing in emotionally or financially. While Madison received constant praise and forgiveness, I received criticism and neglect. The contrast in our treatment was stark and devastating to my developing sense of self-worth. I couldn't ask for things I wanted. Music lessons were wasteful for me but essential for Madison. My clothes were Madison's hand-me-downs, while she got designer outfits. Mom prepared elaborate meals for Madison's preferences while telling me to just make a sandwich. Most hurtful of all, they'd give Madison expensive gifts on my birthday, claiming she shouldn't feel left out while my own gifts were practical afterthoughts. "Why can't you be beautiful and charming like Madison?" became the soundtrack of my childhood, each repetition cutting deeper into my heart. Madison, emboldened by our parents' favoritism, treated me with casual cruelty that intensified as we grew. In middle school, her meanness became calculated. When I confided in her about liking a boy in my class, she deliberately pursued him, then paraded their relationship in front of me. She'd accidentally reveal my personal secrets to classmates, ensuring I faced humiliation from people I barely knew. Each betrayal left me feeling more isolated and worthless. Any attempt to stand up for myself resulted in harsh punishment from my parents. "Madison is sensitive, how dare you upset her?" they'd scold. I learned to swallow my pain and fade into the background, hoping to minimize the hurt they could inflict. Growing up in such an environment left me with shattered self-confidence. Yet deep inside, I desperately yearned for my parents' approval, so I channeled all my energy into my studies, hoping academic success might finally earn their love. At school, I consistently achieved top grades and excelled in clinical simulations. Once, I ranked first in my nursing program, receiving special recognition from the hospital administration. Heart pounding with excitement, I rushed home to share this news, only to be met with my mother's cutting response. Don't stand out in such strange ways, will you? Madison would feel terrible if people thought you were somehow better than her, she said, her voice dripping with contempt. The cruelty of her words pierced through me like a physical pain. It became painfully clear that no achievement would ever be enough. My parents had decided long ago that I wasn't worthy of their pride. Their rejection felt like a concrete wall I could never break through. Despite this, I still found joy in learning, so I continued pursuing knowledge, but began deliberately holding back in presentations, ensuring I remained just below the spotlight, maintaining position around 10th in class to avoid triggering my family's disapproval. Eventually, I applied to the most prestigious nursing program in Chicago. To convince my parents, I strategically emphasized the scholarship opportunities and how it would cost them less than other schools. Their perpetual reluctance to spend money on me worked in my favor. They agreed when hearing it was the most economical option. I felt clever for manipulating their stinginess to my advantage. Unlike my sister, whose college tuition they paid in full, I had to fight for every dollar of my education. We've already wasted too much on you. Get your degree quickly and start supporting yourself, they demanded coldly. I worked multiple jobs throughout nursing school, often taking night shifts at care facilities while maintaining a full course load. My instructors noticed my exhaustion but admired my determination. When my academic advisor asked why I was pushing myself so hard, I reluctantly explained my family situation. That's heartbreaking, but as an outsider, there's little I can do. I'm truly sorry, she said, genuine concern in her eyes. Her simple acknowledgement of my struggle felt like a rare gift, someone finally seeing me. She went further, helping arrange my first clinical rotation at the children's hospital where I still work today. When I proudly announced securing my nursing position, my parents barely looked up from their phones, merely responding, "Just make sure you contribute to household expenses now." Determined to escape their toxic influence, I lived on a strict budget, saving every possible penny. Within 18 months, I had enough for a security deposit on a tiny apartment, and finally broke free to build my own life. Since establishing my independence, I've maintained minimal contact with my family, which made me anxious about introducing Nathan's parents to mine. "We can keep it casual and brief," Nathan reassured me, squeezing my hand. "I don't want this causing you stress, especially during your pregnancy." "Thank you," I said, feeling a rush of gratitude for his understanding. I think I should visit them and explain about the baby shower in person. With a knot of dread in my stomach, I drove to my parents' house for the first time in months to share news of our baby shower plans. And why should we care? My mother barely looked up from her phone where she was scrolling through Madison's latest social media posts. "Nathan's parents would like to meet you both before the baby arrives," I explained, trying to keep my voice steady despite the familiar sting of their indifference. "That sounds like an unnecessary hassle. We're very busy these days with Madison's social media career taking off. We don't need some awkward family gathering," my mother dismissed with a wave of her hand. I'd anticipated this reaction. Time for my contingency plan. "I've reserved a table at Everest," I mentioned casually, referring to the upscale restaurant known for its exclusivity. "I thought we could all have lunch there. My treat." At this, Madison, who had been sprawled on the couch scrolling through her phone, suddenly sat upright, her eyes gleaming with interest. "Everest? That place is impossible to get into. I need photos there for my social media," she exclaimed eagerly. As if on cue, my parents' demeanor completely transformed. "Well, if Madison thinks it's a good idea, then of course we'll attend," they immediately agreed, exchanging excited glances about the prospect of a prestigious outing. The day of the family lunch arrived with perfect weather. Despite Nathan's parents' warm greetings and genuine attempts at conversation, my family responded with curt nods, clearly more interested in the restaurant's ambience and menu than making a connection. Nathan and his parents maintained their composure admirably in the face of my family's rudeness. My anxiety mounted as I watched for signs of trouble. When our elaborate first course arrived, Madison immediately began taking photos from multiple angles for her social media, loudly commenting on the presentation. My parents focused entirely on describing the exquisite flavors and exclusive atmosphere, making no effort to engage with Nathan's family. The conversation shifted when Nathan's mother Eleanor kindly inquired about Madison's social media work. Suddenly, my parents became animated and engaged. "She's our shining star. Her follower count just hit 50,000 last month." My father boasted proudly, his chest puffing out. "Dad, stop," Madison protested with a laugh that indicated she wanted him to continue. "You're embarrassing me, but do tell them about my recent sponsorship deal." After dessert, they abruptly announced, "We need to leave now," and departed without proper goodbyes, leaving an awkward silence in their wake. Witnessing this behavior, Nathan and his parents exchanged stunned glances. "That was actually worse than I warned you about," I admitted to my in-laws, who seemed at a loss for words. "I'm so sorry for how that went," I apologized, my cheeks burning with embarrassment. "Olivia, you have nothing to apologize for," Nathan's father said firmly. "If anything, I'm impressed by the remarkable woman you've become despite such challenging circumstances." "Absolutely," Eleanor added, reaching across to hold my hand. "From now on, consider us your real family. We're here for you and our grandchild, always." Their unconditional acceptance brought tears to my eyes, and in that moment, I felt more certain than ever about the family we were creating together. Despite my excitement about becoming a mother, I worried that my family might create drama during my baby shower. After careful consideration, I consulted with Eleanor and suggested a modest celebration with just close friends. Having witnessed my family's behavior at lunch, she immediately understood my concerns. "We'll keep it intimate but special," Eleanor reassured me, squeezing my hand. "What matters is celebrating this precious little one with people who truly care." But just as plans were taking shape, my phone lit up with an unexpected notification, a FaceTime call from Madison. My stomach tightened. She never contacted me directly. "Hello?" I answered cautiously, bracing myself. Madison's perfectly made-up face filled the screen, her expression radiating with self-importance. "Guess what? I'm pregnant too," she announced, flipping her hair dramatically. "You're... what?" "Congratulations," I stammered, genuinely shocked by this revelation. "Mom's organizing a celebration for me. Be at their house this Saturday," she commanded before abruptly ending the call. I had already scheduled an important prenatal appointment that day. When I told Nathan about Madison's demand, he frowned but said, "We can stop by briefly after your checkup if you want." Reluctantly, I agreed to make a quick appearance. When we arrived at my parents' house, Madison's husband Tyler immediately made my skin crawl. "So you're the plain sister Madison mentioned," he smirked, looking me up and down with disdain. "A nurse, huh? Couldn't get into medical school? Madison said you've always been the underachiever." I felt Nathan tense beside me, but Tyler continued his offensive barrage without pause. "I graduated from Northwestern Business School and work for Precision Medical Supplies," he boasted loudly. "We only hire from top-tier universities. People without proper education simply don't have the capacity for sophisticated thinking." "Tyler's a rising star in pharmaceutical sales," Madison added smugly, resting her hand on her barely visible baby bump. "He wouldn't associate with someone like you professionally." "How fitting you found each other," I thought silently, struggling to maintain my composure. The unbearable tension in the room made me desperate to escape. "We should get going," I said, reaching for my purse. "I have an early shift tomorrow." Madison's voice stopped me. "Wait. There's something else you need to know." Her eyes gleamed with malice. "Our baby showers ended up on the same day." "What?" My heart dropped as I processed her words. "But since you're only planning that small gathering at Eleanor's house, it shouldn't matter, right?" She continued with false sweetness. "You said it would be just a few friends, correct?" "That's what I said, but what about Mom and Dad? And Aunt Claire?" I asked, though I already knew the answer. Madison's laugh sent chills down my spine. "They'll all be at my baby shower, obviously. You'll have your pathetic little party with no real family present. How sad for your baby to have such a lonely welcome." The calculated cruelty of scheduling her shower to conflict with mine left me breathless. Our parents nodded along, clearly complicit in this scheme to hurt me. "I understand completely," I replied with surprising calmness, making an internal decision to finally sever all ties with these toxic people. Later, when I explained everything to Nathan, he was livid. "If your family isn't coming, then let's make this the most amazing baby shower ever. We'll invite everyone who actually cares about you. We still have 3 months to plan something unforgettable." Even with a different date, they wouldn't come. "Madison just wants to humiliate me," I sighed, wiping away tears. As Nathan held me close, a sudden realization dawned. "Wait. Nathan, isn't your father?" 3 months flew by, and the day of my baby shower finally arrived. The elegant hotel banquet room was filled with smiling faces, my hospital colleagues, Nathan's co-workers, and his extended family. At the beginning of the celebration, Eleanor gracefully acknowledged that my relatives wouldn't be joining us. Everyone rallied around me with overwhelming support, assuring me that I deserved better than such treatment from my own family. Their kindness created an atmosphere of genuine warmth and celebration. As the formal program concluded and the festivities began in earnest, the event coordinator was practically buzzing with excitement at the impressive turnout. My nursing colleagues had prepared a heartwarming tribute to my work with pediatric patients, and several children I'd cared for sent video messages that brought tears to my eyes. The hotel had even arranged for a string quartet to play, transforming the gathering into something truly magical. Midway through the celebration, I spotted my parents and Madison with Tyler entering the ballroom. My heart raced as I made my way toward them. They stood frozen, surveying our lavish celebration with stunned expressions. When they noticed me approaching, they reluctantly moved to meet me. "What in the world is this?" my mother gasped, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Madison, what happened to your own baby shower? Did you get curious because ours turned out to be such an incredible celebration?" I couldn't suppress the satisfaction in my voice as I watched her face flush with rage. Madison's jaw tightened. "What's going on here? You said this would be a small gathering with just a few friends." "Actually, this venue is one of Chicago's most prestigious locations for baby celebrations," I explained calmly. "I suppose that's why Madison also chose it, probably to overshadow my event." "Why are there so many medical professionals here?" Madison demanded, scanning the crowd. "Well, besides my hospital colleagues, many guests are from Nathan's father's medical equipment company," I explained with deliberate casualness. "What? Medical equipment company?" Tyler's face suddenly drained of color. "I don't understand. Why are all the doctors I invited from Northwestern Memorial here at your shower?" he continued, his voice rising in panic. "Those are the people who canceled on us last minute?" Madison realized, her perfectly contoured face crumpling in shock. They stood paralyzed as they realized that the hospital administrators and doctors Tyler had desperately tried to impress for sales connections had chosen my celebration over theirs. "You're referring to my father-in-law's business associates?" I clarified innocently. "Your father-in-law?" Tyler stammered, visibly sweating now. "Yes, that's him just over there," I pointed toward the distinguished gentleman approaching our group. Tyler's face froze in horror. "Dr. Williams? The Dr. Williams? Why are you here?" Nathan's father joined us with a warm smile that quickly cooled as he assessed the situation. "I wouldn't miss celebrating my first grandchild. Though I'm surprised to find parents who would miss their daughter's baby shower," he remarked pointedly, glancing at my parents, who shifted uncomfortably. It was painful to watch how swiftly my parents' demeanor transformed upon realizing Nathan's father was the CEO of Precision Medical Supplies, the largest medical equipment provider in the Midwest. "I understand you deliberately scheduled your event to conflict with my son and daughter-in-law's celebration. May I ask why?" Dr. Williams inquired, his tone professionally cordial but eyes steely. "I had absolutely no idea it was your son's family event." Tyler protested frantically. "The scheduling wasn't even my idea, it was Madison's. She specifically wanted to upstage her sister." "What? How dare you throw me under the bus like that?" Madison shrieked. "You were the one who said it would be funny to see the nurse who couldn't become a doctor have a pathetic baby shower that no one attended." "Shut up," Tyler hissed desperately. "Not in front of Dr. Williams." "Don't tell me to shut up when you're blaming everything on me," Madison snapped back. As their argument escalated, Dr. Williams intervened firmly. "That's quite enough. This is Olivia and Nathan's special day to celebrate their child." Tyler practically bolted from the room, with Madison waddling after him as fast as her designer maternity heels would allow. My parents, witnessing this humiliating scene unfold, hurriedly approached me with plastered-on smiles. "Olivia, darling, we've always been so proud of your accomplishments. Since we're already here, perhaps we could join your celebration?" Madison's baby shower had apparently turned into a disaster when all the important medical professionals Tyler had invited canceled to attend our event instead. Madison was devastated by the turn of events, and even her social media followers were commenting on her unusually silent social media accounts. My parents' pride was clearly wounded, and now they're trying to save face, I thought bitterly as I watched their transparent attempt to align themselves with the winning side. "We've always thought Olivia was the responsible one," my father suddenly declared. "Yes, absolutely," my mother chimed in with a nod. A chill ran through me hearing their hollow praise after years of neglect. "Your words mean nothing now. I've decided to cut ties with you completely. Please leave immediately." "What? How dare you speak to your parents this way?" they gasped in unison. "Because you're ruining what should be the happiest day of my life. Leave now," I insisted, my voice steady and sure. At Nathan's quiet signal, hotel staff promptly escorted my stunned parents from the venue. With the toxic presence removed, the celebration continued with genuine joy and authentic connections, exactly what my baby deserved for their welcome to the world. In the months that followed, Madison and Tyler's relationship crumbled spectacularly under the weight of public humiliation. Their baby shower fiasco had made its way through hospital gossip channels, severely damaging Tyler's professional reputation. After being passed over for key accounts at Precision Medical, his resentment toward Madison intensified daily. The final blow came when Dr. Williams personally removed Tyler from all Northwestern Memorial Hospital accounts, effectively ending his career trajectory at the company. Their engagement collapsed amid bitter accusations and blame. Madison's carefully curated social media presence took a devastating hit as she could no longer maintain the illusion of perfect happiness. Her pregnancy announcement posts, once flooded with likes and supportive comments, gave way to cryptic messages about staying strong through betrayal and toxic relationships. Meanwhile, Tyler faced potential termination, having lost the trust of senior management. The couple became entangled in an ugly dispute over their luxury condo and the expensive engagement ring Tyler demanded be returned. My parents, thoroughly humiliated by the entire affair, redirected their fury toward Madison, their once treasured golden child. In a shocking reversal, they actually disowned her after she moved back home and began making financial demands. I heard through a former neighbor that they were absolutely livid about the $75,000 they had invested in Madison's lavish baby shower and various sponsorship arrangements, all of which had spectacularly backfired and left them facing social embarrassment within their community. "Your irresponsible behavior has cost us everything," my mother reportedly screamed during one particularly heated argument that neighbors overheard. "We gave you everything, and this is how you repay us." Looking at the whole situation objectively, both my parents and Madison appear fundamentally incapable of genuine growth or self-reflection. Their values remain firmly rooted in appearances rather than substance. However, having maintained my decision to sever all ties with them, their ongoing drama feels like a story from a book I've finished reading, interesting perhaps, but no longer relevant to my life's narrative. My focus has shifted entirely to the beautiful life Nathan and I are building together. 3 weeks after our baby shower, our daughter Emma Grace arrived, healthy, beautiful, and with her father's thoughtful eyes. The delivery room was filled with love as Eleanor held my hand through contractions while Nathan supported my back. The moment they placed Emma on my chest, I knew I had found healing through creating my own family, one built on mutual respect and unconditional love. Nathan received a significant promotion at his father's company, now heading their pediatric equipment division where he's introducing innovative technologies for children's hospitals nationwide. His compassionate leadership style has won him the loyalty of his team and respect throughout the industry. I've taken an extended maternity leave to cherish these precious early months with Emma, though I plan to return to the children's hospital part-time once she's a bit older. My passion for nursing remains an essential part of who I am. Eleanor has become the mother I never truly had, visiting weekly with homemade meals and boundless grandmotherly wisdom. She recently confided, "Watching you with Emma has been one of the greatest joys of my life. You've shown me what true motherhood looks like, putting your child's needs above your own ego." Our home has become a haven of warmth and laughter, filled with the genuine connections I always longed for as a child. As I rock Emma to sleep each night, I whisper promises that she will always know her worth isn't tied to comparisons or appearances, but to the love and kindness she brings to the world. We're moving forward together, creating new traditions and cherishing each milestone. The family tapestry we're weaving may not include my blood relatives, but it's rich with authentic relationships that nurture rather than diminish. In this way, what appeared to be Madison's cruel attempt to hurt me ultimately became the catalyst for my complete liberation and deepest happiness.